Greetings from Kibabe, our little village in southwest Kenya. Again, the work is great, the pace is continuous, and the evidence of God working is astounding. After returning to Kenya, we were met with a few challenges, and with each one, the Lord turned it to good, and we watched Him demonstrate His grace, His mercy, His wisdom, and His promise to lead and direct. We started our classes and settled back into the village life. Now, the church, it's exploding. Even with the doors swung wide open, we knew it was time to step out. The car park simply can no longer accommodate our church. So we constructed a temporary building with wire mesh, plastic, and wood slatted sides, and a sawdust floor. It's perfect. The guys even made a cross. We also have a kitchen that is being put to very good use. And on Easter Sunday, we fellowshipped for our first service in our new church. We had lots of visitors. Some of them, after having heard the guys sharing their testimonies around the community, were a bit doubtful. And they came just to see for themselves if OT or Meshach or Moses are actually in church. Now they've remained with us, having been drawn by the testimony of God's Word. A few weeks ago, and with great anticipation, we welcomed a team from Calvary Chapel, West Tampa. Oh yeah, I was pretty much uncontainable. John and Kim Glick, along with Ryan, Corey, and Casey, got a warm and joyous welcome from Kibabe as I watched parts of my world come together. We arrived in the village on Saturday afternoon, and Sunday the church was packed, and with praise and thanksgiving, the team was received with so much love. Monday and Tuesday, Kibabe Calvary Chapel sponsored a men's conference. 50 men from the surrounding communities joined us as they looked at the characteristics of a godly man. Randy, Ryan, John, and Corey, along with Pastor Stephen from Calvary Chapel, Kisumu, shared God's Word and challenged these men to live their lives as the men God had called them to be. The women filled the kitchen and worked very hard to prepare breakfast and lunch for the men. The feedback and the response we have seen has this village stirring with a purposed and resolved determination to know Jesus more. Our classes were happy to welcome our visitors, and Friday's class in Logorian in the Transmara also prepared lunch and had gifts and loved on us in true Maasai fashion. In the village, we walked around and visited some of the new and the old mamas. It was such a blessing to everyone for our visitors to take the time to visit them. I love the sweet, genuine gift of hospitality that Africans have. What an example this has been to me. Now, of course, we had to show off some of the sights. Lake Victoria, lions, leopards, and elephants, the sights and the sounds of the Masai Mara, the Serengeti, and the Great Rift Valley. Our God's creation is simply breathtaking. Our last day was spent at U-Turn in Nairobi. This place has become very special to us. We see God use it to transform men into God-fearing, God-seeking men. What a blessing to watch as John and Randy, Ryan and Corey all shared, spoke truth, encouraged, and challenged these men to allow God to take what the enemy has meant for evil and to turn it around for good. John and Kim and Casey and Randy, along with Randy, have all headed back to America. Corey stayed back with me. Randy is spending some time with his mom, who's had some difficult health challenges. She had her boy for Mother's Day, and that kind of lifted her spirits. Corey, Dennis, and I are keeping the classes going and supervising the construction at the church and helping the Hen Project guys transition from their first flock to their second. We're also upgrading the housing system, which will alleviate two of the major problems we've encountered in this process. This is going to keep us committed both in time and financially to the project for a little bit longer than we'd expected, but we so see God's hand all in it. As we also begin looking at the coffee project beginning, probably next month, the end of next month sometime. This will serve to open more doors for the guys to share their testimonies and how the gospel of Jesus Christ has given them hope. We're continuing to pray for Susan as she finishes out her 12-month commitment to Teen Challenge Women's Center in October. Let me tell you, she's a new creation. Susan has fallen in love with Jesus and is anxious to return to the village to share with other women how sex and alcohol simply is not the answer. When the team came, they brought about 5 huge big bags of items that have already and will continue to bless many. The little kids have had a blast with the balls. Well, actually the big kids too. And last night I gave Vincent his new tools. His dad, O.T., told me this morning that Vincent asked him to pray with him before he went to work. This is huge. Again and again, I need to tell you, your love, your support, your gifts, your prayers, they are not in vain. God is mightily at work. He has many more lives he desires to save, and he is allowing you and I to be a part of that. So as we continue to labor together, pray for the Hen Project guys. Pray for Corey as he disciples and ministers to them, and for all that God has in store for them to be brilliant, shining lights in this dark place. Pray for our classes for continued growth and response to the pure word of the truth. Pray for our men who are teaching. Ask God to strengthen them with might in the inner man as they teach the truth in the villages that they live in. Pray for the church as we continue to grow. Pray for provision as we build this church compound that we expect to be used in more ways than we can imagine. Pray for our families and our parents. Especially pray for Randy's mom. Keep Susan in your prayers. Continued prayers for Rogers and Jeremiah and other men and women being held captive by the enemy's chains. That's about it for now. We love you guys, and it's a privilege and honor to be serving alongside of you.